Dr. Tutwiler, thank you for joining us. We are here to present you with an award, and we are delighted with your service to the community in Lynn. Dr. Tutwiler is the superintendent of schools in Lynn and has been a huge advocate for both the children of Lynn and the Boys and Girls Club. And Chanel is going to present you with your honor.
Dr. Tutwiler, it is our honor to present to you this award for your commitment and dedication to youth and your commitment to education in the city.
I'm honored. Thank you both so much. I mean, this means so much to me. I remember receiving a call from the director indicating that, informing me that I was going to receive this, and I told him, don't do it. I don't want it because it's really, this was a community effort over the past year and a half, but I'm honored for the recognition, and it means a lot.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Tutwiler, we understand that you have been an integral part in making sure that during the pandemic that the children of Lynn have been able to communicate with their teachers and be a part of either hybrid or all remote learning. Can you tell us a little bit about what you and your team did to make that happen?
Yeah, I think I'll start by saying that when the pandemic struck, we weren't ready. I don't think anybody was ready, but we weren't ready from the standpoint of devices. We weren't ready from the standpoint of connectivity in all of the homes of our families. And so we moved as quickly as we possibly could to purchase technology, to partner with Comcast to ensure that families who did not have Wi-Fi could get that free of charge. And, you know, on top of that, making sure that issues around food security were addressed with our meal availability, making sure that communication was clear and frequent, and that families knew where they could go for resources, whether it was mental health, which is really important at a time like that, or just simple, you know, how do I work with my child in such a scary time? And so I really see it as, you know, one of the things that's wonderful about Lynn. We banded together, we figured it out, and we moved forward.
And now, Dr. Tutwiler, how important was keeping in contact with after-school programs and non-actual school education institutions like our club for keeping in contact and making sure that you could reach every child with technology? Critical.
It was absolutely critical to make sure that all of the partner agencies, which is sort of the name that I've given them, were informed and understood how we could support each other in providing services for families. And so beginning this summer of 19, we began meeting fairly regularly via Zoom just to talk about what each entity could provide families, everything from whether it's meals, you know, how or where families could go to pick up a device, what sort of in-person services were available. We needed to all be together and on the same page so that families were getting a consistent message. So that partnership was critical.
And Dr. Tutwiler, you have been such an advocate for all the kids in the city of Lynn, and you have a lot of organizations that you partner with. What was it about the Boys and Girls Club that made it such a integral part of your partnerships in the community?
The Boys and Girls Club never closed. Whether it was the summer of 19, when, you know, still really a scary time for this community, in particular with the situation related to rising cases, you know, illness, and unfortunately even death. But the Boys and Girls Club never closed. They had the courage to remain open, to continue to provide in-person services for students, for families. I had the wonderful privilege of visiting on several occasions last year and saw in person, up close and personal, something that I was only able to see virtually: smiles, happiness, kids connecting, you know, wonderful staff who were embracing the moment and embracing students. And so the Boys and Girls Club was in many ways a pillar in a really trying and really scary time in this community.
And do you think that safety nets like the Boys and Girls Club have an impact in educational and emotional well-being for children when they are able to return to schools and for their coping skills during this time?
So we would probably need to do a study on the students who had the opportunity to be in person in the Boys and Girls Club, because I would say those are the students who are probably the best fit to return to full-time in person. Those students had the opportunity to connect with one another in person. They had the opportunity to engage in those social interactions, which are so important. I bet those students are ready to go this year.
Great.
And Dr. Tutwiler, your passion for kids is so authentic and so seems ingrained in you. You know, where does this passion come from, and how did you get in to this line? I know that you went to Harvard College and that you grew up in Chicago, and all of a sudden here you are, the Boys and Girls Club in Lynn, as the superintendent of schools in Lynn. Like, how did this journey get you to where we are today?
You know, it started with a book that I stumbled upon in the Coolidge Corner Barnes and Nobles in Brookline, Mass. It's a book by a woman named Jean Anion, and the book was about the experience that students in the Newark public schools had. And at the time, I think I was working at Fleet Bank. Nothing against anybody who goes into that profession. But the book made me feel like what I was doing just wasn't having the impact that I believed that I could have. I knew at that time that financial services was not my calling, that a more relational, a more human focused profession was. And so, I don't know, I said, let me try for the best. And I always joke that Harvard getting in was a fluke, but I showed up, I learned, and I started my career in the Boston Public Schools and never looked back.
You have a few pillars that you live by. I love the student, the teacher, and the craft. Not anyone more than the other.
Yeah.
Do you feel that being a part of the Boys and Girls Club helps you carry forth that mission throughout the community and as well as in your kind of educational role?
Yeah, I'm so happy that you that you raised that. And let me be clear. A former mentor said that to me when I was in my first administration role at Boston English High School, and he said, love the student, the teacher, and the craft of teaching, none more than the other, but in that order. And the key word for me really is love. When I think about what happens at the Boys and Girls Club every day, when you come in, you immediately feel that love. There's a reason why kids like or love being here. They feel that. And I think the staff love the students, and that is just abundantly clear in every way.
So, Dr. Tutwiler, given your involvement with the club, you know, if you were talking to one of our donors, and one of our donors asked you about why they should donate to a club like the Boys and Girls Club, what advice would you give that donor?
I would say that if they want their contribution to have impact, then they absolutely should. This is a place that has impact on the lives of students, and so of young people in the city. And so, very simple, very uncomplicated. If you want your donation to do something, to have an impact on a student who needs, then I would say I would contribute.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, you know, we are just so honored to have you as part of our community, and the passion with which you do your craft is so evident in just listening to you speak. And I think the whole community is really graced by having you as a member of it, and we couldn't appreciate your involvement anymore.
That means a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.